All right, all right, all right. All right. Welcome to Monday, July 18th. We are, 2.5 weeks into the third quarter. Hope you guys are all doing what you're supposed to be doing. That would be nice. We are very fortunate. Alan, if you could hit star 6. We are very fortunate today to have Alan Zeller, real estate extraordinaire, with us. Alan, are you there?
Yes. Good morning, Rick.
There he is. Okay, Alan, get us started. Tell us a little about yourself, like your market. You can even throw in your cell phone for referrals too, and give us a little idea of how long you've been doing this and all that good stuff.
So my name is Alan Zeller. I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I've been doing it about 4 years, and this will be the start of my 5th year. So I'm still kind of a newbie at it, but I'm enjoying it, having a good time.
You sure are. Yeah, it's a great time to be in real estate, especially those 4 years you've been in, right?
Yes, yeah, it's been a great 4 years to get started. It was a busy market, and things are starting to slow up a little bit, but I have some past business to keep me going, and it's exciting.
It is exciting, isn't it? I mean, so tell us, what did you do before real estate? So you've been in real estate for 4 years. What did you do before real estate?
So before real estate, I lived in Michigan, and grew up in Michigan, went to college in Ohio, University of Findlay, and I took up equestrian studies with Western emphasis. And so there I trained horses, and so I started on the west side of the state. I grew up on the east side, went to the west side, where I started a horse farm over there on the west side, and then got hooked up. Yeah, got hooked up with the founder of Remax Realty, Dave Leniger. So I used to train and show horses for him. So I moved then back
I did not know that.
Yeah. It was a great job. It was super cool. Dave and his family, they were great. They kind of took me in as one of their own. I used to show horses all over the U.S. for him. And we also used to breed horses for him. And we stood 2 of the number 1 studs, Arabian studs in the U.S. for him. So we would breed that stallion. We would have about 20 to 30 babies a year. And then we would raise them to the point they were about 2. I would break them out, start training them, and start showing them from there if they weren't sold already. So it was fun.
That is incredible.
Super fun.
That is incredible. I met Dave Leniger in Atlanta, and I would say 1993. Yeah, I had a short, I call it stint, but I'm only joking. I had with Remax, I was number 1 in Remax of New England. I think it was 1994. Had 113 closings that year, and I met him in Atlanta. My broker made it a point. We met him. I actually met him in a bar in an Atlanta Marriott hotel.
You know what? That sounds like Dave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He is, let's put it this way, that man knows how to party.
He does. He's a great guy. He's super, is obviously super successful. His family, super genuine. He's super genuine. So working for him, taught me a lot about drive and focus. And when we would go out to dinners with him, he was still working, but he was completely genuine. And I think that goes a long ways in real estate, obviously.
It sure does too. And it's interesting because my niece, believe it or not, she has a scholarship to TCU, and she's an equestrian. She does the big jumps and all that stuff. Sydney Berube. I get all the social media stuff, and I'm like, wow, she's really good. That's got to be scary. There's double jumps, and you go over. That's got to be something.
It is.
But anyway.
I think once horses are in your blood, they're in your blood forever,
I hear you. Yeah, I used to ride. I went to a Montana ranch about I think it was about 1996 for a week. It was incredible. I recommend everybody do that. You're on horseback. You drive cattle from the high to the low. I couldn't remember the low to the high, but it was pretty crazy.
Cowboy Rick, that's what I'm going to call you now.
Well, I had no idea, Alan, that you were that cool and that good with horses. That's incredible. See, that's why we love to have these things. I love to have these things. Get to know everybody better.
Yeah, exactly.
So And so is this your fourth year, or was last year your fourth year?
This is going to be the start of my fifth complete year. I believe in September.
Yeah, so fourth year in real estate, in Las Vegas. You were number 77 in the company last year, which is an incredible feat, by the way, when we have 1,100 agents. Just give an idea of what kind of production level you were at last year to be number 77?
Last year, I believe I did 31 transactions last year.
In your fourth year, that's really good. So the next question they have, because I'm a mind reader, is how did you do that in your fourth year, man? Like, where does your business come from? Let's hear it.
I think the majority of it is social media. When I was into horses seem to bring out social media in people. They like to post pictures of their horses and talk about their horses and talk about the horse shows and put up their winning pictures from the shows. So I got into Facebook early on when it was first coming out, and that helped us sell these horses for Dave Lineker. So I would have to post pictures up there. We would do videos of horses and then sell them from there. So I think the majority of my business comes from social media. And I wasn't into Instagram very much when I got here, but I got with a girl that does my digital social media. She does Facebook, Instagram. We're starting on LinkedIn. So I think the majority of my business derives from that. And I think even though I was selling horses, I have more followers from doing that, and you put up like an animal picture to draw people in, and people will come in, and then you throw in something on real estate, so it keeps everything kind of interesting. Right. But I think the majority of it is social media.
Well, that's incredible. Good. Yeah, and so true, because whether it's horses or puppies or cats or even children or people are attracted to. And let's face it, everybody. I owned a horse for about 4 years, a Morgan. I'm from New Hampshire originally, Alan. I had a Wilton, New Hampshire. I had a horse. I go twice a week instead of going to the gym. I'd go there at 5 a.m., take them out into the trails and just ride. It was incredible. I loved it. And that's when I went to that trip. But people who own horses have money, right?
That's true. That's very true. You have to have money when you have horses, because they're eating all the time. You have to trim their hooves. You have to put shoes on them. They always need some kind of vet work. And then just the tack and trailers, everything's expensive with horses. So you're exactly right. Those people have money.
Yeah. So they're buying and selling real estate, which is great. Yeah. And, and I think because you're around them more than I am, but horse people they're driven, usually very successful. I would even say a little obsessive compulsive at the same time, which usually makes a successful person.
That's very true. That is very, very true. I think, you learn that from a young age when you get into horses, because you got to get up at a certain time to feed them. You got to get up early in the morning.
Right.
So you get up early in the morning, and they're reliant on you completely. So it gets you strict on your schedule, which I think is super important in real estate. You stay consistent, and that's huge. And horses and animals, when you're caring for them, they need consistency. Right.
They really do. Like you get up at the same time, you feed them in the morning at the same time. Otherwise, they can get a little unruly. They understand. True. They understand routine, right? They really do.
Yes, they do. They know when it's time to get fed.
They do. I'll tell you a funny story about my horse sometime, but today's about real estate, so I could talk about horses all day. But so social media. So give me an idea, like, because I know what they're going to ask me if I don't ask you is, what are you spending? How much time do you spend? Like, what's your routine? All that stuff, if you don't mind sharing.
Sure. So I got kind of lucky. There was a girl when I first got into real estate that was directed my direction. She was into digital social media. She was into marketing, digital marketing, I should say. So I am not so good with marketing myself. I don't think out of the box a lot, which I know is very important, but that's why I rely on her a lot. So So I got directed to her, and so she always drills in my head that it's very important that you put on fun stuff along with real estate, and then back to fun stuff, and keep people that are following you interested. Because if you just drill it on social media, real estate, there's going to be fewer people listening in to what you need to say. So I think that's super important. And as far as things that I like to do, I like to put up stories. Like if I go and view houses, you can put up a quick 10-second clip of you showing this house or a nice spot of that house, whether it's the backyard or the master or the kitchen, and do a quick 10-second video and put it on your story, and then do something else on your regular page, of your animal. I put up my dogs. I have 2 goofy-looking boxers that make faces all day, so I take pictures of them quick on the way through the house and post that up there. So yeah,
I love it.
I think that's really important. When I first moved here, I worked for Wayne Newton, and I used to train his horses. So that was
wow.
a big draw too. Yeah, that was a big draw too. So I could put up me riding a horse in Casa de Shenandoah that was beautiful because they had fountains. So it was just something to draw in people on social media.
That's cool.
That's really important.
That's cool. Yeah, and you can share little bits and pieces about that too. I would imagine mixing that in with your story about your past with Lineker and Wayne Newton and all that stuff must be, you get some, because that's interesting.
That was definitely interesting. That was a fun part of my life. I did that for about 2 years probably, and then real estate totally took over. But he did allow me to do real estate at the same time, and the horse business was 18, well, more than that, probably 20, 24 years of my life. So, I think getting into real estate is new and exciting for me. I'm still a new agent, so it's fun. It drives me. But also having the whereabouts with the horses to draw people in, I think is just kind of work together and helps me out quite a bit.
All right, cool. No, I love it. And so with your person, do you still use this woman to help you with your digital media and your social media?
I do. She also does farming for me. So communities.
Oh, cool.
So when I do a just listed or just sold or whatever communities I want to do, she's able to do that. She was actually a realtor here in Las Vegas. And then she got married, and her husband, his job took them overseas. So she's on a totally different time schedule. It's nighttime to my daytime. So we work that out though, but she still does it. And she's younger. I'm getting older, Rick. So she knows more about these computers and the marketing stuff than I appreciate.
Well, you look young, so that's all that matters, right? Hopefully you feel young too.
Yeah. I feel young. But, sometimes in the morning I don't feel so young, but.
Oh, good. Now, okay, so the reason I'm asking is because I know of people that do have, companies that they use and so forth. Does she ask you, like, all right, I need a video of this, I need a picture of that, you have kids, does she give you a schedule of things to submit to her, or do you just kind of do them as you see fit?
When she sees me getting a little bit slower, if I'm getting busy with real estate and I'm not touching base so much, yes, she does. She's like, hey, we need to keep these videos going. So, and then when she comes into town about 3 times a year usually to see family here. Mm-hmm. So I'll meet up with her. We'll go through the house. She'll video me going through a house. And then she's just really good with the hashtags. So on Instagram, so she mixes up the hashtags for me and puts them in a certain order. I don't know how she does it, but I seem to get a lot more views when she's doing that stuff. She also recently got me into TikTok, so I've been trying to do a little bit more TikTok and and there's hashtags on that too, I guess, from what she tells me. But I give her the videos if she's not around. She keeps me on task that way, and I give her the videos. I'm able to send them to her, and then she puts them together, sends them back to me. The other thing that is really good that she does for me is like if I am have a couple under contract for buyers that are out of town, I'm able to send her the videos. She puts these videos together, and then these people that are out of town, they're able to ask less questions from me because I provide them with a video of their house, like a video walkthrough of their house.
I gotcha. Wow, that's cool.
At the beginning. Yeah. So helps out a lot.
So when can we expect, synchronized dance videos on TikTok?
Never, because I'm not that talented.
Oh, good. I know. I'm on TikTok too, and people keep asking me that. I'm like, you'll never see me. I don't dance on camera ever.
It wouldn't be pretty for me to do it. That's for sure.
Do you find it amazing how much money it's obvious that some people spend on their videos that they put on Instagram and TikTok especially? Isn't it amazing? You can just tell the production of some of these is off the charts.
Yes, it is. It is crazy. There's a lot of production behind a lot of them. But I'm not convinced that always coincides with how many followers people have. Because you can do simple videos, get your ring light up in front of you and say something quickly, some kind of real estate based thing, and that'll actually get a lot of views depending on these hashtags. So, but some people put a lot of production time and money into it, and good for them. I would like to do more of that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I think so let's recap a little bit here. You have to have your personal life in there, maybe some hobbies, your animals, your children, whatever you have that quantifies your life and how you are. Be authentic, be yourself, and then also sneak some real estate in there too.
Exactly. Throw it in there.
Yeah.
So people still know you're into real estate, still doing it, but you're keeping the viewers by showing them your, quote unquote, interesting parts of your life.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And that was the toughest part for me because remember, you probably don't remember this, but when I first started this job 8 years ago, I didn't have a Facebook page. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't even know what LinkedIn was. Oh, yeah. No, everything I do has been in the last 6 years. Yeah, that's it.
That's great. Well, you're going in head first. That's what counts.
Yeah, I keep turning it up. As soon as I get comfortable, then I turn it up a little bit. Now I'm doing those videos every day, basically. That's hard. I've been like 6 months into it now. Yeah.
That is great.
It's matter of fact, I got to do one.
That's important.
Yeah, it is. And the woman I'm talking to right after you, Nikki B from Arizona, she, her person says, okay, Nikki, it's Monday. I need some kid pictures. Get those. She has Labradors. Get those Labradors. And she gives her a schedule to do then submit it. Probably, you know what I mean? I think that's good too, yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. It is.
All right, so what now your goal, are you on pace to beat last year or is your goal? I mean, how are you looking so far this year?
I am. We're about halfway through and I'm at, I believe, around 18 transactions right now. So I'm on schedule to beat last year, which is very important, but I've got to dig in a little bit more with this market. And these interest rates. So I'm digging in a little bit more to get that done.
Awesome. So, and what are give us an idea. What does that mean exactly? More time, more prospecting, more social media. What exactly do you mean when you say, because you got to be a little bit more intentional right now, right?
Yes. So more networking and more social media. So networking, the other things I do is go to these networking events on the Strip. And even though it's a lot of people in different areas, businesses flipping out their cards, but you get talking to them and having solid conversations with them. And I've gotten some business through there too. So I put it in my head, when during COVID, all those networking events went away. So now they're starting to come back and people are wanting to get out of the house more. So I've been trying to do more networking events. And I think that's going to help if I dig in there. And also if I keep going and doing more social media. I think that hopefully that'll help. Hopefully I'll be able to get my goal.
Yeah. Well, anywhere you can be that talks to people, networking events, just charity events, door knocking a farm, calling expired. However you're comfortable talking to people in this business, I think is a great way to do it.
Yes, it is. It is.
So now that you've been doing this in your 5th year, it's my favorite question to ask top producers like yourself. What are the 3, in order to be successful, and everybody's definition of that is slightly different, but what do you think the top 3 things they should focus on? And you can repeat yourself if you've already said one. What are the top 3 things that you would tell them to focus to be a success in this business?
I think when I first started off, it was really important to me to get to know the business is to talk to successful senior agents, talk to them. And it wasn't just like 1 or 2. I tried to talk to as many as I could to learn their views on it, their business, and what made their business tick, because what makes somebody else's business tick may not help me. So I think that is huge. Talk to the successful senior agents and learn what makes them tick in their business. Yeah, I think that's huge. Another one is just staying consistent in using your database. That was something I didn't do in the beginning, which I should have. And now I'm learning, okay, that's really important because now I have all these clients that I've got to do follow-up with. And how do I do that? You got to get on that database and start, whether it's a drip campaign or whatever it is. Birthdays, I do a lot of birthdays, talk to them. So I think that's big too, that I wish I would have done sooner. And then I think the biggest thing is just simply answering your phone. Every time it rings, every time a client or another agent calls you, texts you, answer that. If you're not able to answer it, do it within a reasonable amount of time. 10 minutes. Text them back quick text. Hey, I'm out showing houses. Let me get right back to you. I think that's huge because, some of the people that I've worked with in the past, if they don't answer their phone call, it makes that transaction hard.
Okay. I love that. Okay. So answer the phone. Okay. So give me the first one more time.
So talking to successful senior agents, talking to them, learning their business and what makes them tick. Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And then building, I can't tell you how many people also, first off, yeah. So that, Tony Robbins would call that modeling. You pick somebody, you take a little bit from this person, a little bit from that person, create your own personality. The CRM, and plus we have people ask me all the time, you're gonna die, Alan, when I say this. People say to me, Rick, what was your first CRM? I go, a 1 through 31 accordion file. Remember those?
Yeah. And that was, and what was the next step? Was it Rolodex? Because we had those too.
Yes. Exactly. I had a Rolodex too. Yes. Rolodex had all of that right on my desk, and right. And then all of a sudden the computer came out, and then the internet, and then real estate's come a long way. But the CRM was, especially with ours, with the VAC 2.0 and all those auto drips and everything you can set up, and then being accessible. Absolutely. Those are great points, my man. Awesome stuff. So now, any similarities between working with horses and working with people?
Yeah.
Not many, right?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Just consistency with the horses and consistency with people. I think that's a big thing. I think consistency in getting out there and doing what you like to do. Like, I love to do horses and work with them and train them, and this is a whole new business. It's exciting and new, so that's a big drive.
What did you work with all types of horses or a particular breed?
I did. When I was first starting off, I worked with all different breeds. I worked with Friesian, quarter horses. I went to college at the University of Findlay and graduated from there. And I started in quarter horses and Appaloosas. And then I went from there. I did Morgans. I did Arabian saddlebreds. I eventually learned that doing English style horses, made more money.
Mm-hmm.
So I started showing them, and that it was a lot more fun anyways because you were going faster than a Western lope, So these English horses, they were a lot more fun, and you made more money in them, and it was more of an intense part of the industry because they were high trotting horses. So
the people with the Morgans and the Arabian, they seem to be really hardcore, especially Morgans. I found Morgans people are. What is it? What is it called when you have the horse in front of that little trotting carriage thing? Trotters, right?
Oh yeah, driving.
Driving.
The Morgans drove a lot, so you would drive them.
Yeah, because they have that perfect little
Arabians
for that.
Arabians were not good that way. Arabians didn't like anything following behind them too close.
They seem to be skittish. Yeah, they seem to be a little more skittish.
Yeah, completely.
But yeah, you get, horse, it's such a interesting thing because, and I think everybody should learn the horseback ride because it's not, you're in control, but you're not in control. You have to, it's like a negotiating, right? You don't negotiate with your horse, you're not going to get anywhere. You can't over tug. It's all about letting go, but also being in control. I think everybody should learn how to horseback ride. It's really a good life lesson, don't you think?
That's 100% correct. Yeah, it is. You have to have a lot of trust in that horse. That horse has to have a lot of trust.
You sure do.
So, but anything can happen. A cat could jump in front of that horse and spook the horse, and there goes your showing. So it's a little different when you're showing a house. That house is always there. In one condition, you can go walk through that house, but showing a horse to a prospective client, it's totally different. It's way more intense because everything has to be perfect. So you got to think ahead a lot. Yeah.
My horse would go anywhere. His nickname was Jesse James because he would always escape from the paddock. Right. He was a purebred Morgan, and but the only thing that would send him into hyperspace was a sewer grate. In the street. You'd see one of those suckers wouldn't be paying attention. Oh my God! He would go like he just saw a snake or something. He would go crazy.
Yep. I bet you learned to think ahead on that too. You were like looking ahead down that street for any sewer drain. You're like, okay, I'm going to steer clear of that.
Absolutely, because he would notice them last second. He'd be like, do. Oh my God, so great. Anyway, well, Alan, thank you. This has been awesome. I learned a lot today too. This is great. Thank you for taking out 30 minutes of your time this morning, my man.
Yes, thank you very much, Rick. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
All right, my man. We'll keep it rocking. Everybody else will do this again in a week. Alan, thank you once again. Talk to you soon, everybody. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye-bye.